Quebec, Alberta, and Saskatchewan will start rolling back COVID restrictions as soon as next week, while other provinces, including Ontario, BC, and Manitoba, expected to loosen restrictions even further by the end of the month. So this comes as protests against pandemic restrictions carry on in cities right across the country. For more this morning, we're joined by Dr. Peter Juni, Scientific Director of Ontario's COVID-19 Science Advisory Table. Welcome back to your morning.
Good morning.
Let's start out west. Alberta and Saskatchewan ending their vaccination passport systems and their mask mandates. What's your response to this?
Oh, it's a bit rushed, obviously. Remember when we were in the Delta wave, Alberta didn't that well. Ontario did much better. Why? Because we took it stepwise, slow, and we let the data speak. And we should do that again now.
Dr. Juni, is this the right time for provinces to loosen restrictions based on science, or is this a sign that premiers are giving into pressure from protesters?
Oh, I can just tell you what the science does, and then if it's discrepant with the science, then you make your own conclusions. But, you know, here in Ontario, if we just look at that, if I may just expand there a bit, what we see right now, and it's actually precise, like a Swiss watch, our wastewater starts to show a plateau, low, about at the same level that we were around December the 20th. What does this show us? First, it shows us it really worked with people changing their behavior. And with the public health restrictions we had then beginning of January, we had a sustained decrease now over several weeks of cases, as we see reflected in the wastewater. No? And the point now is we reached this plateau. Now we just need to figure out during the next week to 10 days where this is going. Does it basically stay stable? Does it go up again? And if it goes up, how steep is the slope of this uphill that we're having? Because this indicates a rebound, and we just need to make sure that we can ride out this wave without the strain on our healthcare system. And that's what we're essentially intending to do here.
So the easing of restrictions is because of the numbers, and because of the restrictions that are in place right now, we've seen the numbers go down.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. You know, there are people out there who suggest that this could be a naturally behaving wave here in Ontario. That's complete and utter nonsense. A naturally behaving wave doesn't flatten once you start to reopen. That's really us doing this. The point now is when we compare ourselves, you know, between 20th of December and now, about the same level in the wastewater of a viral RNA. What has changed since then? Since then, we have had 4.7 million people who received their third dose, and we have probably had about 3 million people who got infected, meaning we have a lot of background immunity, which will help us now in the short term to keep things under control. So if we now just calibrate carefully during the next days and weeks, and we have a roadmap here in Ontario that we can follow if things go well, then this means we can do this reopening really smoothly without having, you know, too much of a rebound. That's the aim.
I want to end, Dr. Juni, with vaccine passports. We know a couple provinces are getting rid of them. I'm curious, for those who still have vaccine passports in place, should it require 3 doses now instead of 2?
Look, we have 2 different options midterm, and this is now just for the next few weeks. You know, this was never meant as a long-term solution. One is we say we stick to 2 doses, but we lift them relatively swiftly then, because as we know, somebody who has had 2 doses right now and the second dose is longer than perhaps 3 months ago doesn't have much protection against infection. That's really important, but still a lot of protection against everything else. Or we say for a few weeks we do a 3-dose passport and keep it a little bit longer. The point is, this was never meant to stay. This is something which will be lifted relatively soon. It's just about riding out this wave. We're talking about a few weeks, whatever we do, not more than that.
So just to recap, Dr. Juni, we're in the position to be able to ease restrictions now because of the restrictions that were in place before and because of the booster shots.
And because of the infections that have happened since beginning of December, this also gives us additional immunity.
Natural immunity. All right, Dr. Juni, great to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.